and welcome. Is another day to talk sport. Actually, I'm quite happy to be here talking sport. I'm your host, Austin Arome. Today, we have quite a lot to talk about in the world of sports. We have athletics news coming from athletics, not so palatable, but then in a way, I'll say it's palatable as the Athletic Federation of Nigeria president, Tobong Otowa, is saying that ahead of the um, 2024 edition of the All African Games that will be taking place in Ghana, that because of the fact that these players, the foreign-based athletes, will not be available, majority of them will not be available, so they're going to make do with the home-based athletes. So it's going to form a large part of what we're going to be discussing today on the show. Plus, taking you back to basketball. There's also NBA games where Boston Celtics actually continue their good run, taking control of the Eastern Conference table. There's also the Champions League results where Manchester United, beg your pardon, Manchester City and Real Madrid won their game respectively yesterday. Manchester City went away to Copenhagen in Denmark and they snatched a 3-1 win, and then Real Madrid defeated Leipzig right there in Germany, courtesy of a goal from Diaz. 1-0 it ended in favor of Real Madrid. We also try to look at today's fixture. What are we expecting in today's game? We'll actually give you the fixtures later on the show. There's also news coming from the tennis world. There's also the table tennis where Arnaud Kadri is actually in the news as he has really gained one step as the ladder, one step up the ladder at the international table tennis ranking to become world number 12th. Now he's number 12 as far as the world is concerned in table tennis. All this and more we're going to talk about when we come back from the short break. Welcome back to the show. We'll be starting from the home front this time around. A very heavy news coming from the president of the Nigerian Athletics Federation, Tonombok Okowa, who says that Nigeria will be preparing the home-based athletes for the upcoming African Games that will be taking place in Ghana. That is in the absence of the foreign based athletes. You know, we're talking about the foreign based athletes like Ace Brume, all these guys will be kind of busy at the World Athletic Championship that is actually taking place. And when it's their season like this, it's always very, very difficult to have these athletes available, but especially those the most big names in the world of athletics as far as Nigeria is concerned. You are talking about the likes of Toby Amuson, who is 100 meters hurdle. As a matter of fact, she has the world record, the fastest time as far as 100 meters is concerned. We also have the likes of Ese Brume for long jump, Shade Olatoye, shot put, Shukwe Buka in Nekweshi, who is also from shot put. They all won gold at the last edition in 2019, as well as Favor Ofili, who will be actually this will be our first season at the indoor season abroad. So she won silver the last time out, and this time around she's not going to be available because this is her maiden season. This is the first season that she'll be taking part at the indoor season right there in Europe. It's not just in Europe. When you're talking about indoor, it's all about going around the world, from United States to Belgium to the likes of Serbia, going to different countries. So it's actually a very, very busy time for this athlete. And looking at this situation right there, we might not have our A-list athlete coming in for the African game. So it's actually a situation, a bit of a situation for the Athletic Federation of Nigeria. But then they're saying that they are going to salvage the situation by, preparing the local athletes for the All African game. But one question I will ask, this Athletic Federation of Nigeria is, how is this preparation going to be like? Because we have just eight, how many days, just few days between now and 8th of March that the event will be starting, to actually get our athletes prepared for the All African Games. We might not have a very good outing at the All African Games, in my own opinion, considering the way this thing is going to pan out. You're preparing your own base athletes to actually go and take on the rest of Africa. How good is it going to come out, considering that these athletes, most of them might be out of action for a very long time? They might not even be training for some time. We all know how it is right here in Nigeria when you're a local athlete or you're a local sports person. It's always very, very difficult to train. You have a lot of constraints, ranging from financial constraint, where you're thinking of what to eat, what to eat, how to get money to buy yourself clothes, how to even to treat yourself medically if you get injured. Is always a problem right here within the local scene. So how can this issue be salvaged? Will the athletes, the local athletes, are they going to be ready when it comes, when the time comes for the All African Games that will be taking place in March? It will be starting on the 8th of March. And for me, I think between now and 8th of March is actually quite close. So it worries me that the Athletic Federation of Nigeria president is coming out right now, to say that Nigeria will they'll be preparing the home base to actually go and represent Nigeria at the All African Games. We hope that this turns out so good, and that we hope that Nigeria will not be disgraced right there in Ghana, because the tournament will be taking place in Ghana, just like I said, from the 8th of March to the 23rd of March, and it's going to be across 3 Ghana cities: in Accra, in Kumasi, and in Cape Coast. So we wish Nigeria the best of luck as they try to redeem the image that we have right there in at the All African Games. In Nigeria, either we're finishing first, we're finishing second or third or fourth. There's never been a time where Nigeria will go to the All African Games and we'll finish below 10. We'll finish below these numbers that I just listed, from number 1 to number 5. We hope that this time is not going to be different. Not that I don't have trust in these local athletes, in these home-based athletes. The problem I have is the time that these people are going to take to prepare for this particular tournament. So just like I said earlier, we wish them the best of luck as they try to represent Nigeria at the All African Games. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we have more sports, juicy stories to talk about right here on Vision Sport 360 on WTV. Alright, welcome back to the show. It's still Vision Sport 360 on WTV. Now, looking at football right now, where we have Manchester United in the news. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the deal to buy 25% stake of Manchester United have been approved by the Football Association and the Premier League. The owners, Glazers, as the case may be, would they'll still withhold that majority of the stake of Manchester United. But right now, we now have new owners that will be part of the board. Ratcliffe and Ineos. Ineos is actually the organization being run by Jim Ratcliffe, and according to reports, Manchester United, as far as the board is concerned, Ineos are going to have true representative courtesy of this purchase. And you look also the fact that the first deal, this is the first deal actually to be agreed under the Premier League updated owners and directors test, which was approved by members clubs that are talking about the Premier League members club in March 2023, and also includes review by an independent oversight panel. What will marginal gains on Brentford's what's it going to bring to Manchester United? That's the question that is on the lips of everybody right now. What is Ineos going to bring to Manchester United? What is Sir Jim Ratcliffe going to bring to Manchester United? You're looking at the fact that this is someone who has actually been in sports business for so long. In Formula One. I think he has a team right there in France, Nice. Yeah, he has a team in France. He's actually the top shareholder of an OGC Nice right there in France. And just to let you know that Manchester United were bought by the Glazers family in 2005 for a fee of £790 million. And in November 2022, the Glazers actually stated that they were considering selling the club in order to explore strategic alternatives. And just recently, there was actually a period where there was a takeover from the Middle East, I think from Saudi Arabia, that didn't actually take place finally. And at the end of the day, it's been decided, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, has 25% stake at Manchester United. Moving on, this time we're talking basketball in the NBA. Jason Tatum scoring 41 points in a dazzling display as the Boston Celtics beat Brooklyn Nets 118 to 110 points to extend their lead at the top of the NBA Eastern Conference. And the Boston Conference star, talking about Jason Tatum, also claimed 14 rebounds, 5 assists to help Celtic to their 5th straight win and take them 42 to 12 on the season. Jaylen Brown also added 19 points with 16 each for Alford and Derek White. And looking at Jason Tatum, who scored 31 of his points in his first half, and the Celtics led by as many as 23 in the third quarter before Brooklyn Nets fought back in the fourth to make the game off in. Meanwhile, under strength, Miami Heat trashed the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm talking about the Milwaukee Bucks. This is where we have Giannis Antetokounmpo right there in with 123 to 97 points. That's trashing right there, considering the kind of team we're talking about. Milwaukee Bucks losing to Miami Heat, and on the stretch, Miami Heat, so to say, because when you look at the way the game was played, Miami Heat were without their key players. We're talking about key players, game-changing players for the Miami Heat. You have the likes of Jimmy Butler missing it for Miami Heat. You have the likes of Terry Rozier missing it. You have Josh Richardson also missing for the Miami Heat. But that is not to say take any credit away from the people that played on the night. So let's look at other results right there from the NBA. As you can see there, the Golden Phoenix Suns rather were in action, where Kevin Durant actually was on fire. He scored 28 points as the Suns won an exciting back and forth contest against the Sacramento Kings, 130 to 125 points. Now let's look at the NBA results right there on the screen for for you to see. Yeah, you can see the result right there. Orlando Magic actually losing to the Oklahoma City Thunder 113 to 127 points. And then we have the Trailblazers losing to Western Conference leaders Minnesota Timberwolves 121 to 109 points. And we have the LA Lakers also not doing so badly in the NBA this season, with LeBron James also taking center stage as they beat Detroit Pistons by 125 to 111 points. So it's hotting up right now as far as the NBA is concerned, and we're getting to that point where little details, little margin actually matters in the NBA. So we're getting to that point where teams will be looking to qualify for the playoff tournament. So interesting times ahead for NBA fans, and we'll be right here to talk about the result. We'll be right there to give you details of what's happening within the NBA world. Now we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we have a lot more to talk about, especially in the UEFA Champions League, where matches were played yesterday and some other matches will be played today. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Vision Sport 360. Exciting time as far as the UEFA Champions League is concerned. The UEFA Champions League has resumed for the knockout stages. And talking about the knockout stages, yesterday we had matches in the UEFA Champions League. The results: Manchester City beating Copenhagen, FC Copenhagen, by 3-1, and Kevin De Bruyne was on the score sheet. You can also see Foden there, scoring for Manchester City. And Manchester City, by the way, are the defending champions of the UEFA Champions League, and Bernardo Silva was the first to score in this game as he put Manchester City ahead, just before the halftime with a clever flick after the ball from Kevin De Bruyne. So it's good to have Kevin De Bruyne back, even though Haaland didn't score in yesterday's game. But then City still scored 3 goals in this particular game. That's to tell you that there's a lot to come from this Manchester City side. They're going to do something that Real Madrid did, I think, in 2017, also 2016, 2017, where they won back-to-back Champions League. That is something to talk about later if they're going to do that. And there's also injury worries for Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. The season is original. Manchester City are in a lot of competitions. They're still in the Champions League. They're still in the FA Cup. They are still in the league as well. They are in the running for the league. They have a game at hand, 2 points behind league leaders Liverpool. So that's to tell you that they need all their players available. So they also have injury worries. Silva, talking about Bernardo Silva and Grealish, actually got injured in that game against Copenhagen, and Pep Guardiola is actually worried and is waiting for the assessment. The players are being assessed and they're looking to see what's going to happen at the end of the day. When are these players going to come back? Because they need these players. And talking about players doing so well, moving on to the next Champions League game where Diaz scored for Real Madrid. Talking about Diaz scoring for Real Madrid when Jude Bellingham was not available. Jude Bellingham missed the game due to an injury, and Diaz taking his place, stepping up and scoring for Real Madrid. So we're talking about teams that can score goals, but that is not the main point. The main talking point of yesterday's game was should I use the profligacy of the RB Leipzig team? They were so wasteful in front of goal, so much so that the Real Madrid goalkeeper, talking about Lenin, actually was forced to make more save. I think the last time players made more save in the Champions League, or more a lot of saves in the Champions League in the equivalent of 9 games was I think in 2012, 2016 or thereabout, 2017, where Kepa Arrizabalaga for Chelsea made 9 saves for Chelsea in one particular game. So we had that yesterday for Lenin, who is of Ukrainian origin, who was not even the number 1 goalkeeper for Real Madrid. He saved 9 saves. He made 9 saves in yesterday's game, and everybody's talking about that right now. Talking about the first two choice goalkeepers for Real Madrid, Thibaut Courtois was not available for that game. And when we have Kepa Arrizabalaga, who was suspended, and Lenin has to step up as far as this particular game is concerned. And this is I'll say it's an examination that the young man passed with flying colors, making nice saves, keeping Real Madrid in the game, keeping them in the tie, so much so that Real Madrid got away with 3 points as far as this particular game is concerned. 3 points for Real Madrid away from home, and they'll take that back to Spain at the Santiago Bernabeu, where the second leg will be played. Having said that, let's look at today's matches. Fixtures for the day. We'll see Lazio taking on Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, by the way, they've not been having the best of time, especially in the German Bundesliga, where they are making things difficult for themselves. They are, I think, about 7 points behind league leaders Bayern Leverkusen. So this is actually another opportunity for Bayern to make things right if they can win the league and the Champions League. Rather, they have to win the Champions League to make things right, for themselves. Because it's looking actually very difficult to keep up pace with league leaders as far as the German Bundesliga is concerned. And they take on Lazio tonight, another form team as far as the Italian Serie A is concerned. Because the last time Lazio were in action, I think it was actually a fantastic game. They won that game 3-1. And you're looking at Bayern, who are not firing so well in the German Bundesliga. Let's see how this game will pan out tonight between Lazio and Bayer Leverkusen. We also have another crunch game, another team that is looking to redeem themselves. Talking about Paris Saint-Germain, who will be taking on Real Sociedad. This is actually an important game for Paris Saint-Germain because of the fact that they've won virtually all the trophies that they can win, that is available for them to win. One other trophy that they're looking for, one trophy that has eluded them for so far, even despite spending billions of euros, billions of dollars, billions of pounds, whatever you call it. They've spent a lot of money just to get this Champions League, but still the Champions League has eluded them for a very, very long time. And they have this situation with Kylian Mbappe, whose contract will be expiring at the end of the season, and it's actually quite uncertain where Kylian Mbappe will go at this particular point in time. There are rumors that there's that is, he has a pre-contract agreement with Real Madrid. Some said he's 99% a Real Madrid player. This is according to the La Liga president. So if he's coming from someone who is actually an authority in La Liga, saying that Kylian Mbappe is 99% a Madrid player, let's see if the La Liga president is actually quite right. But then, not deviating from what we have at hand, talking about the Champions League, why I brought in, Kylian Mbappe is the fact that, Kylian Mbappe, I will feel, or even, Paris Saint-Germain fan will feel they will feel is distracted right now because of, the fact that his future at the club is not certain. Even his future as a player is not actually being settled at this particular point in time. Will he have that mindset? Is his mind going to be at the club? Will he actually, if he's going to, join Madrid at the end of the season, could he actually, end that problem or that bad luck that has plagued Atletico Madrid, all this while, where they can actually win the Champions League this season? This is where it all began. This is the beginning of it all. They tried to win tonight against Real Sociedad. So much to talk about, but because of lack of time, we'll have to draw the curtain right here on today's show. I remain Austin Arome. I want to thank you, our viewers, for joining us on today's edition of the show, and to thank our production crew for doing a very marvelous job behind the scene. We say thank you for watching, and bye for now.